Captain Fawcett's Emporium! How are we? Now, before I begin, I'd like to share you with a little pep talk that I give myself in the mirror every time I engage in any kind of social engagement, you see. It goes a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right then, pay attention, we need to have a word. You might not like what I'm about to say. Quite frankly, your behaviour can sometimes be absurd, and first impressions linger when people walk away. Park all the petty grievances outside. If you need to, lie down in a darkened room. Check your stubborn, misdirected pride. Have a stiff swig of whiskey, this will be over very soon. But let's get ready to turn it on, and at least make it look as if we're having fun. Save the snark and pessimism until people have gone. Let's try to turn it on. Let's get ready to turn it on. Don't drop out now before the party's begun. Be as sullen as you like when the evening's done, but let's try to turn it on. Look, I know this can be something of a chore, but it's time to take a breath now and be strong. And really, you might have considered this before. You sent the RSVP and agreed to come along. Take a long, hard look in the mirror at your face and curb the sarcastic tone for now. Wind your neck in. This is neither the time nor the place. We need to find a way to play the game somehow. And let's get ready to turn it on and try to put a cap on all the terrible puns. Resist the urge to grab your coat and run. Let's try to turn it on. Let's get ready to turn it on. With some effort, some favour can be easily won. Put a zip on it now or it'll come undone. Let's try to turn it on. Hello, Captain Fawcett's Emporium! It's wonderful to be here for the launch of my new album. Can I hear you say huzzah? Huzzah! Excellent. I think we're going to have some fun tonight, ladies and gents. I've just remembered I've forgotten to turn on TikTok. I'm going to turn that on in a sec, you see. And let's get ready to turn it on. And if someone asks you questions, at least try to respond. Interactions like this don't need to be prolonged. Let's try to turn it on. Let's get ready to turn it on. If you simply try it out, you might prove yourself wrong. Come on now, champ, you know that you can be strong. Let's try to turn it on. Let's get ready to turn it on. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just need to run over to my camera phone over there. Apologies for that, TikTok. Apologies for that. Anyway, welcome to Captain Fawcett's HQ Emporium Barbershop Museum for the release of my 3rd studio album. Can I hear you say huzzah? Huzzah! Excellent, excellent. Now, what I'm going to be doing in the first half is playing through the entirety of the first album, of the 3rd album, Making Friends at 40. Okay, and then we're going to be streaming that across YouTube, Facebook, TikTok over there. Now, I just want to check that that's working. Terrible start there, terrible start. Start as you mean to go on there, folks. Okay, so Yes, I'm going to be playing through the entirety of the album, which you can buy from me this evening. Folks watching this at home can actually buy it from my website, tombywild.com, or on whatever preferred music platform you have. So yes, now we've got that out of the way. This next song is aimed at people that come along to my gigs for one thing and one thing only. I'm just here for the swearing. I don't much care what else you have to say. I don't care about the clothes that you are wearing or the other songs that you've chosen to play. I'm not listening to the words you've constructed in rhyme. I'm unmoved by the chords that you have struck. I care not for the years you've spent honing your craft. I'm just waiting for you to say, forgive me, I'm just here for the swearing. The other stuff's a little overblown. I disagree with many of the sentiments you're airing. They always make me want to roll my eyes and groan. Your political opinions are opposed to my own, but that's usually not something I admit. Though none of that's important, that's not why I'm here. I'm just waiting for you to say, shall I explain? I'm just here for the swearing. Could you at least give me some small profanity? I've been waiting patiently all evening, and I want to go back home soon for my tea. I'm sure your other work has some sort of appeal, but it's not something on which I wish to take a punt. In fact, I'd like to hear you take it up a gear. It would make my day if you would just say, could you please just swear? Thank you very much indeed. Now, folks, in 2020, I myself turned 40 years old. You don't sound shocked. I turned 40. However, it's been a bit of a year since then, so I don't technically count last year. So technically, I am only 40 this year. That's how it works, right? Yes? Can I get a huzzah for that? Huzzah! Excellent. So I wrote this song in the run-up to my 40th, which is the title track of my new album. So this is a song called Making Friends at 40. Is this what we've come to, now that we're reaching middle age and we've left all youthful exuberance behind? A tolerable lifestyle and a reasonable wage, with fewer fun distractions left to find. Has the calling, the sole ambition of our youth, that burning yearning need to find our place, been pacified by years of learning that finds one deeming it uncouth, leaving only lines from the forced smiles upon one's face? We're making friends at 40, yes, we're making friends at 40. This is not how I imagined midlife to be. It's really quite exhausting, in all honesty, because we're making friends at 40 when it's nice to make a friend. But with so many compromises, we may well have to pretend. What's the connection? How were we fated now to meet? Or have I met you many other times before? Did you marry an acquaintance? Did you move in down the street? Please forgive me for these days, I'm never sure. Are you really curious? Or just pretending that you care, a folly of which you were once vaguely aware? Is this boring you as well? The conversation leaves us short, and I can't disguise my yawning when the subject turns to sport. We're making friends at 40, yes, we're making friends at 40, being forced to behave like a proper adult. Meeting all types of people, one can't help but insult. We're making friends at 40 when it's nice to make new friends. Now that weddings, births and funerals make for action-packed weekends, what would we have to say if we could see ourselves then now stood round a barbecue, trying to heat up half a cow in polite conversations, feigning interest to be nice, discussing the remortgage to get some free financial advice. Making friends at 40, yes, we're making friends. At 40 we can't handle our booze like we did once before, which makes inane interactions even more of a chore. We're making friends at 40 when it's nice to make a friend, but the need to get home for dogs and babysitters brings a night to a swift end. Thank you very much indeed. So that track features a contribution from one of the wonderful friends of mine who contributed to the album, Mr. George Bartle on the trumpet. For those of you watching at home, you can check out George's other work. He's in a fantastic singing duo, Opera Lele. They sing opera songs with the ukuleles. And he plays lots and lots of instruments. So yes, next song is... This is quite a nice message from 1953 by the excellent Mr. Tom Lehrer. Now, Tom Lehrer, I don't know if anybody knew this, but last year put all of his songs on the kind of, made them in the public domain, and so basically said to everybody, you can do what you want with them. So we did. Myself and a good friend of mine, Mr. Tom Carradine, duetted on this one a little while back, and we decided to include it on the album because we could. Because Tom Lehrer has allowed us to. And it's quite a good message, and actually sums up the reasons why I am going to be continuing to social distance and continuing to wear a mask. I love my friends, and they love me. We're just as close as we can be, and just because we really care, whatever we get, we share. I got it from Agnes, she got it from Jim. We all agree it must have been Louise that gave it to him. Now she got it from Harry, who got it from Marie, and everybody knows that Marie got it from me. Giles got it from Daphne, she got it from Joan, who picked it up in County Cork, a kiss in the Blarney Stone. Pierre gave it to Sheila, who must have brought it there. He got it from Francois and Jacques, ha ha! Lucky Pierre! Max got it from Edith, who gets it every spring. She got it from her daddy, who gives her everything. She then gave it to Daniel, whose spaniel has it now. Our dentist even got it, and we're still wondering how. Ah, but I got it from Agnes, or maybe it was Sue, or Billy, or Millie, or Jilly, or Willie, it doesn't matter who. It might have been at the club, or at the pub, or in the loo. And if you'll be my friend, then I might. Mind you, I said might. Give it to you. Thank you very much. Now, folks, I recently this year joined TikTok. TikTok, a bit more enthusiasm there, folks. No, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. So TikTok, hello there. How are you? After much convincing, because my attitude was that I'm a 41-year-old man. I have no business being on a platform that has been successfully dominated by young people, doing young people things, and actually me being there might actually ruin the whole thing, okay? So I wrote this song about it, and then went back on everything and joined TikTok anyway. So there we go. So this next song was written inspired by that, though. It's called a song called Spoiling It for the Kids. They found a brand new place to be where they hold the authority, but we can't stop spoiling it for the kids. The hippest joint that we don't know that makes us more desperate to go. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. We just can't leave them to it and let them have their fun. Brazenly invade their space, then wonder where they've gone. But nothing makes a party quite as sad as it being crashed by your mum and dad. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. Afraid of missing out on the latest trend, or that our days of being relevant will come to an end. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. Stubbornly refusing to act our age, frantically trying to keep ourselves engaged. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. We burst up with excitement at the cool new trend we found, then tried to find the places where the head cats hang around. But the kids all know that the jig is up when the over 30s decide to rock up. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, the piano skills of Mr. Ben Dawson. I think that deserves a huzzah. He's actually a classically trained concert pianist who's worked with some of the biggest names in the business. And he enjoys what he likes to refer to as channeling Mrs. Mills on my albums, all three of them in fact. It's like asking a Michelin star chef to boil an egg. Get it right, Tom. A time without responsibility or cares has long since passed, so we take away theirs. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. Busting out confusing new lingo to prove we're the ones who are in the know. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. We treat them with increasing suspicion, fear and scorn, while trying to convince them they don't know that they're born. Then strip away opportunity for jobs or university. We can't stop spoiling it. We can't stop spoiling it. We can't stop spoiling it for the kids. Thank you very much indeed. Now, I've actually left my bottle of water over on that table over there. Would somebody be so kind as to go and grab it for me? I just realised that, just as I thought, I'm going to take a swig of water, and it wasn't there. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you. So this next song, folks, I wrote this a while ago. Some of you may have heard it. It was once said by somebody on Twitter, adult life consists of writing apologies for the late reply consistently until you die, which I think is quite apt in terms of email responses. Now, I'm terrible at answering emails and getting back to people with messages, and generally most of my emails start off with apologies for the late reply, and there are various reasons for it, which I'm now going to share with you. Now, anybody who has tried to message or email me, most of you, the first two verses apply to. The third verse, it gets me into trouble sometimes. Apologies for the late reply. I genuinely just forgot. I didn't mean to leave you hanging. In truth, this happens quite a lot. I read your message straight away, but my response was complicated, so I left some time to think on it. I hope that you're not too frustrated. Apologies for the late reply. I thought I'd send you my response. but your rather snarky follow-up made me jump to it at once. I'd composed it quite succinctly and precisely to that end. Then a dog video distracted me, and I forgot to click on send. So that's the reason for most people. Apologies for the late reply. I was unsure of what to say. In truth, I hoped if I ignored you, then maybe you would go away. But my guilt at your persistence required acknowledgement, and so my answer to your small request is a big resounding no. Thank you very much. Now, folks watching at home, it's lovely that you've joined me. I just wanted to direct you towards the description or the Linktree link, depending on what you're watching this on. Folks in the Linktree link on TikTok. Folks on YouTube and Facebook, there's various places where you can buy my new album and other bits of merchandise and that kind of thing. But also, there's a place on there on PayPal where you can give me a tip if you're enjoying the evening. So do feel free to do that if you like as well. So, getting back to the songs again, I'd like you to tell me, by way of a cheer, anybody in the audience this evening who at some point in the last few months has been awake at about 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, worrying about things, and so have decided to go and either check Twitter or your work emails or the news or the NHS website, and I've just made it 10 times worse. Can I get away by, if that applies to anybody in the audience this evening, can you give me a cheer? So a few people. What about in the last year, if it applies to you? Give me a cheer. A few more people, actually. Far fewer people than I was expecting. But this next song was written off the back of one of those evenings. This is a reminder of myself. This is a song called Don't Scratch That Itch. Don't go there looking, just let it be. Although the idea's tempting and you really want to see, that way lies danger, and that's for sure. But the curiosity's palpable and you want to find out more. The reassurance you desperately seek won't be found this time of night when you're supposed to be asleep. So just leave it till the light of day. However hard you try now, at the moment you can't make this go away. So don't scratch that itch, even though you feel compelled. You're just asking for trouble and you know it won't end well. Don't scratch that itch. Like the countless times before, it never brings that sweet relief and only leaves you sat there feeling sore. The allure starts to take hold, but this always ends in tears and leaves you outside in the cold, and it drives you to despair, knowing that not knowing can be far too much to bear. Things you see can never be unseen, so you need someone who's willing to step in and intervene. there's just too much baggage to unpack. The journey could be endless, and if you started then there is no turning back. So don't scratch that itch, I will slap you on the hand. You must resist temptation, that fire does not need to be fanned. Don't scratch that itch, because scratching it's a curse. And although you think you'll fix the problem, undoubtedly you'll only make it worse. The things you can't control can drive you down. So is it really wise to face them when there's no one else around? Because you know the only thing that you're ever going to see among all the progress made is a 1.1% of negativity. So don't scratch that itch, even though you feel compelled. You're just asking for trouble and you know it won't end well. Don't scratch that itch, like the countless times before. It never brings that sweet relief, it just leaves you feeling sore. Don't scratch that itch, I will slap you on the hand. You must resist temptation, that fire does not need to be fanned. Don't scratch that itch, because scratching it's a curse. And although you think you'll fix the problem, undoubtedly you'll only make it worse. Thank you very much indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the first sing-along of the evening. Can I get a huzzah? Huzzah! Excellent. So this next song, in recent years, and because of recent events, many of us have started reverting back to the past and finding comfort and solace in the past, which is great. However, in recent years, we've also been asked to question what we know about the past. Quite some difficult questions, in fact. And many of us have been willingly answering those questions and re-looking at things again. Some people adamantly refuse to do that. And so this next song is about that. Now, it has got a banging sing-along chorus. Okay, so I'm hoping to get everybody singing along to this. And this is a song called What Was So Good About the Good Old Days. You'll hear where you come in. And it might be worthwhile getting you to clap along a little bit as well. I get it. The future is scary.